My only prediction... The man described himself as a... For this chapter... is that we're going to see Loki... and Rocks throw hands. Y'all are being very sus. Like, y'all are being so sus. Let's go! Chapter 1155. We got a very, very cute looking color spread. Jesus Christ, what the hell is even going on? There are penguins. There are multicolored penguins flying around. There is a big poster of Luffy in Gear 5 in the background. Nami is afraid... Is this a canonical detail that Nami is afraid of heights? It probably is, and I just don't remember. Zoro is about to fall down and just die. A miserable death because he's already distracted. I don't know why Usopp is holding on to Luffy. So that's interesting. A very cute little drawing, though. Or look at the town square down there. This is very much like a... I've got no idea what's the story behind this, but it's cool, I guess. Also, the penguins apparently have custom haircuts because this guy has hair. Fascinating. Fascinating. All right, let's go. Chapter 1155, The Rocks Pirates. So this chapter is going to be very sus. Okay, I got it. I got it. So we have Loki. It's Loki. Yeah, this is Elbaph. But my dad ain't here. He's on an expedition. Are you puny humans? I've never seen your kind before. You really do scurry around. Oh, you're so adorable. Wait, did you say Dad? Are you Harald's kid? Who is calling him cute? Is it like Stussy who's calling? Who is calling him cute? And thank you. We finally have a actual, like, straight up, Loki is a small kid, and he is just, like, looming over all of them. Finally, I have a sense of scale. Finally, it's not confusing. Even on an expedition, you can still, get in touch with him. What's your name? Loki. Okay, Loki, you're gonna do as I say. Go back home right now and get someone to contact your old man. Here's the message to tell them to pass on. Loki is gravely injured. Return to Elbaph at once. Huh? Since when do I have to listen to what you humans have to say? What kind of beef does he have with Harald, though? It's Whitebeard, obviously. I mean, it would be kind of funny if Whitebeard's like, what a cute little kid. What a cute little kid. This is actually a very good point. I didn't even think about this. No one's ever called him cute or adorable. Or in any way nice. I didn't even think about that. That should be like a huge detail, right? That someone's finally like, hey, you're just a adorable little kid who wants to be like snappy, and tell us that we are like puny humans. Look at Rock's eye lightning thingies. Pretty cool, huh? Rox's eyes are very weird because they constantly seem to be evoking both Buggy's expressions as well as Blackbeard. It's very, very sus. And the thing that goes over his eye, I don't know what that's supposed to be. Plus, it's not like my dad would come back just because I got hurt. Stop ordering me around, you little weakling. Oh, we got the announcer guy. I got the perfect meme for this. Rox's sword attacks were famous for blasting everything in sight, like a gigantic hammer or cannonball. Okay, so everyone who told me last time that Rox didn't have a sword... Very interesting that, like, he is famous for just blasting everything in sight. What does that even mean? Also, wait on, hold on just a minute. Hold up, wait a minute. The sword handle looks very similar to the sword in Marie Jois. And by very similar, I mean very similar. Again, it could just be a basic cutlass. For some reason, when it comes to these absurdly powerful pirates, like Shanks, for example, they all just have basic cutlasses. Very suspect. Very, very suspect. It looks like a saber. The saber of Zabek. Very funny. Very, very funny. Why would his sword strikes cause like a giant hammer or cannonball though? Is it a devil fruit effect or what? I think it's just hockey. He is definitely using hockey because there is lightning coming off of the sword. So it's very interesting though, because usually like what we saw with like Shanks, right? When he popped like his devil trigger and went like full hockey mode, yeah, there was like the Griffin, right? Which was, by the way, absolutely badass. I wish we got more stuff like that. But the fact that he just swings his sword and it's like a massive blunt impact, that's crazy. Because wouldn't you normally want your sword to just like cut straight through everything and not blast at anything? Unless maybe he can do both. It could also be this. The fact that his approach is just to like destroy everything. It could also just be a way to characterize him. The fact that he is like, he's not approaching anything. It's anarchy, basically, right? He doesn't approach anything with any kind of calculus. It's just like, if there's a wall, we go through the wall. Like, if we have a wall, we just go through. There is no wall. It could just be that. Maybe he's just a dumbass and uses the blunt side of the sword, but doesn't care because he's so strong. It's always worked anyway. That's the canon explanation. Okay. Whoa! There. What'd I just say? Loki's gone and got wounded. That's crazy.
This madman had crossed Harald's path at the Reverie 1 year.
Okay, let's read this. Five kings have been attacked and captured. It's an abduction. They were taken by a large man dressed in black. The lives of kings are no threat to Emu. Now hold on, wait just a minute. Let me get this straight. Let me just think about this real quick. He got into Marie Jois. He has done this whole abduction thing. He got literally into Emu's garden, killed an admiral, and left. This is literally the does not elaborate meme. And I mean, it's no wonder that they're just trying to like literally wipe rocks from existence, right? Because if he saw Emu, then he's like an actual existential threat for them. So yeah, I mean, history-wise, it definitely makes sense why they were absolutely obsessed with him. That's crazy. Okay, I suppose not. But your Holy Land is in a panic.
In a historical anomaly never repeated before or since.
This is Koroto announcer. It will absolutely be repeated very shortly by Blackbeard, who, coincidentally, just got one of the Elders' forms and now has the Abyss Mark, which, coincidentally, should take them right into Marie Jois. This is literally going to happen again. Just putting it out there. Very coincidental.
Someone infiltrated the Chamber of the Flowers at the very top of the Holy Land.
Okay, so that's supposed to be Gunko? That complicates things a lot. Wait, let me double check. Because, yeah, it's the same eyes, it's the same thing of her wearing a face mask. It's Gunko, it has to be. Unless it's a weird clone of Gunko. So, this makes things very, very weird, very confusing. Because what is the distinct... I'm just thinking about like the distinctions and the hierarchy of all of this stuff. Because where do God Knights, Admirals, the Five Elders, Emu's personal servant, and all this fit into play? That is 45 years ago, and Brooke died 50 years ago, and he knew her when she was a kid. Yeah, what's the deal with ages here? Gunko is Emu's personal servant plus a holy knight? Yeah, but that is very confusing. I don't think it's as simple as it being Gunko. My pure gut check... Wait, it's not in the next chapter, next panel, is it? No. Something about this seems very suspect to me. Another Shamrock moment? I wouldn't even put that out of the range of possibility. Because this whole thing seems very suspect. Why would she be his personal servant, attending his personal garden, in which we literally haven't seen anyone before? right? There is that one scene in the Reverie where he has a personal servant. None of the God Knights have been in here. No one's been in here except for Emu and that personal servant. And now he sends his single personal servant, along with just random God Knights, to Elbaph. Why remove his personal servant? He had another servant, but I don't know. I don't know. I think there's something more going on here. That's my vibe. His personal servant is... Actually, I like this. Actually, I really like this. His personal servant could just be a... And it could all... I like this a lot. That could explain the eyes. It could explain Emu hijacking her body. It could explain like everything about this little walled garden. So let me put this all into one coherent thought. So Emu, king of the world, queen of the world, lord of the lord, whatever. Call him whatever, right? The highest authority in the world, right? For some reason never leaves his house, just like me, for real, and lives in a weird castle with a tiny garden. Right? Why would you do that as the highest authority in the world? Well, what if he has someone who he can use to see the outside world and experience the things that he's actually doing, right? He's now doing that through Gunko. Gunko just so happens to have a weird eye. Very, very suspect. Very, very weird. We saw the whole rapid aging thing, so there's obviously some kind of thing with the lifespans and everything like that. So that also fits into all of this. I think it makes sense. I kind of like this. It could just be his way of using these people to see the outside world. I like that. Okay, let's return to this. I want to talk about rocks because this is crazy.
The man described himself as a...
We got him! Oh my god, we got him so much! Davy Jones! Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. We got him! Not this way! We got him! I told you! I told you! The one of the most important people in the entirety mythos of piracy, and he's just a thing in Long Ring Longland? Ain't no way! Of course Oda reserved him for the single most important pirate we hadn't heard of before. Absolute W's all around. Oh my god. Oh my god. I think we gotta take a look at the stocks. Oh my god, my heart is unironically pounding. Like, we got rocks once again going to the moon. Where's my boy? Where's my boy Davy Jones? Davy D. Jones, where is he? I just became rich. I am actually a billionaire now. It went up from a penny stock to 143 doubloons. Oh my god. Okay, that's it. I don't care about stocks. Enough goofs. I gotta read this. So he is a self-described worshiper of Davy Jones. He did not do anything more than this, as he knew he could not. What? The man described himself as a worshiper of Davy Jones. He did not do anything more than this, as he knew he could not. But before he departed, he left a warning. I will be back right here. I don't think this is supposed to be like a Shanks parallel to Luffy. Like, I'm betting myself on the next generation. Coming from rocks, I will be back right here. That's a big threat. It has to be Blackbeard. Like, there has to be some kind of body snatching going on. Like, there's no other way this could be it. Why would this be a thing? Like, I'll be back right here? And Emu was rattled to hell? And now we have his son running around. And the fact that he literally comes here, says that he is a worshipper of Davy Jones. He worships the sea devil. He worships the thing that sucks everything to the bottom of the ocean. The thing that literally kills pirates left, right, and center. The devil of the sea. He worships him. He is not afraid of the world sinking. He freaking worships it. He comes here to tell this to Emu and leaves. What? Okay. Naturally, word of this incident never saw the light of day. But as it happened, one other man infiltrated the Holy Land at the same time? Look at him! Oh, right, we already heard about this. We already heard about this infiltration. I already forgot about that. What? What? I don't believe what I'm reading right now, I'm not gonna lie. Davy Jones rocks quickly becoming Koroto's favorite character. He's already my favorite. He's the GOAT. He's misunderstood. He is actually the hero of the One Piece world. He has the right idea. A worshiper of Davy Jones. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Also, why does he have a thing? Hold on. Why is there a thing like coming from the corner of his eye too? Oh no, never mind. It's also in the previous panel. It's just very faint. It's just very faint, but you can see it. Bro, but this is so, like, can you imagine farming this much aura? Can you even comprehend farming this much aura? To walk up to Emu, announce that I worship Davy Jones, the devil of the sea, and I will be back, and leave. I think he's amassing devil fruits. I think this worshiper of Davy Jones, I think it's gonna be devil fruit lore. Like, I unironically think it's this. Like, it's unironically Sailor's Devil. If you don't know the mythos about Davy Jones, it's the whole thing about, like, the curse of the sea. That's the thing that drags you down to the bottom of the ocean. I always assumed that was going to be the mythos behind the devil fruits. Because why would the devil fruits make you lose the ability to swim? It's because of the sea devil, Davy Jones. That's the mythos. So these two things are directly connected. And we have Blackbeard, who is obsessed with devil fruits, and who literally stole Whitebeard's devil fruit. Right? I think all of these things are connected. I just don't know exactly how. But maybe. He didn't announce to Emo he worships Davy Jones. He was the narrator saying it. I kind of read it between the lines a little bit. I think he said that he... Actually, how would that even... No, I do think there must have been some kind of Yeah, I think there must have been some kind of conversation going on here, right? Because he described himself as a worshiper of Davy Jones, yada, yada, yada. But before he departed, he left a warning. So he described the Davy Jones part, and then said that he left. With the warning. I read it like that. Davy Jones is the man with the burn scar. Funny you mentioned that. Funny you mentioned that. Because if you look at how the anime depicted... the ship, this is literally Davy Jones from the Pirates of the Caribbean. Like, it's actually insane that they just did literally the Pirates of the Caribbean. The man with the burn scar in the anime is straight up the Davy Jones mythos. Including the whole whirlpools that drag you down to the bottom of the ocean. Right? Like, the way it's described, it's the same. Zebek's treasure is Davy Jones's locker. It's in the middle of Long Ring Longland. It's in the middle of Long Ring Longland. Clip this and ship this. Come back to me in 300 chapters. There is something at the bottom of Long Ring Longland. Straight up calling it right now. Calling it right here, right now. I think there is a decent possibility at this point. Like, this is... Before, when I was talking about Davy Jones and the man with the burn scar, I was talking about... I don't remember, we talked with like 100 different possibilities, and I always joked about it being Davy Jones. Davy Jones has literally been brought up again. I think there is a very high likelihood that the man with the burn scar is something to do with Davy Jones. Also, what does this practically mean? Did he like play Davy back fights or something? If he is a worshiper of Davy Jones? Let's see. Let's see. Look at him! He's far bigger than a giant!
I desire him for a slave.
Bro, he's big. He's gonna beat you up. I don't think that's how it works.
No, he should be killed and stuffed for display. Guards, protect your lieges. Hot, 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 hot. Fine, the talks are off. I apologize for trespassing, but is this really necessary? Don't let the king abductor get away. No, that wasn't me.
The admirals have been defeated. The admiral's been defeated, not the admirals have been. It's just one. His attacker went to the palace. Be wary. Oh. Bro, they crossed paths just like Luffy and Blackbeard. Just like completely accidentally. Only I guess with them it was a bit more insane. I saw you talking about translation something. Let me go back real quick. He was a Davy Jonesian pirate? What does that even mean? In my translation, say Davy Jones follower. I read it as just a follower of some kind. What the hell is a Davy Jonesian pirate? What does that even mean? He is cosplaying Davy Jones? In Japanese, it actually says Rocks claimed it to Emu. I thought that was like already written in between the lines, so I always read it that way, but that's fine. The admiral's been defeated. His attacker went to the palace. Be wary.
What is all this? What is all this hubbub about? Bring me to the big one. He must be the one who kidnapped the kings. I'm not going to be the fall guy. I'll seize him and... A giant in the Holy Land? Is this guy lost or something?
So, Harald is fuming that he is going to be the fall guy for Loki, for Rox's shenanigans. And Rox is... Okay. Now hold on, wait just a minute. I wasn't expecting that. What in the Dark Souls is this panel? What in the Dark Souls am I looking at? The clash between strangers eradicated any sign of others for 5 kilometers around. How is Marie Jois even standing? They are doing the same thing as Roger and Whitebeard. They're not even making contact. It's just like a absurd hockey clash. This panel, the fact that like Harald is literally like on fire and smoking, this is the coolest thing I've seen in my life. This is like Levi versus the Beast Titan, except the Beast Titan is actually badass. This might be one of my favorite panels in the entire series, I'm not gonna lie. At this point, Rox had already beaten an admiral. Yeah, like... Oh, wait a minute. Don't lose the plot. Not only did he defeat an admiral, he killed him. He killed a character in One Piece. Imagine killing someone in One Piece. How bad you gotta be to die in One Piece? I mean, let's see.
Name yourself. I'm Harald. I'm Rox. Aim at the town with the next blow. If they capture us, they'll turn you into a slave. What? Why? Don't think. Just do it.
Okay, so I think this is like this is pretty much Blackbeard's kind of like weird philosophy, where Blackbeard is also about freedom, but the way he attains that freedom is messed up, right? Like, it's the same thing here. Like, he is just like, yeah, I've caused all this havoc and I'm doing bad things, but you and I blast the town, don't get captured, don't become a slave, let's get the hell out of here, right? So he's kind of like the typical, not neutral chaotic, but just something chaotic. This is crazy. This is cope. This right here, this is the biggest cope I've seen in my life. I feel like Rox probably played dirty to kill the Admiral, because as we've seen with Green Bull and Mr. Blind Dude, they were at a disadvantage because they couldn't go all out because of the Celestial Dragons. Bro, he is clashing with Harald. Look at them. You think he played dirty? Nah, bro, he just built different. Like, the Admiral ETF, I'm sorry, it's already dead. There is no Admiral agenda, Admiral ETF, it's just dead. Like, Oda literally introduced the God Knights because the Admirals are useless. It's over. Like, it's over. There is no conversation to be had here. It's done. No copium, no hopium, no agenda, no pump and dumps. It's over. Simple as. Okay, what the hell did they do? Which way is Elbaph? The new world's that way. Whoa, if you survive, let's meet again, Harald. Never! I don't consort with villains. What? You jumped off? The Navy admiral that Rox had just struck down perished of his wounds despite emergency measures. After his many crimes of the... Okay, so he didn't kill him. He wounded him so bad that even the technologies of Marie Jois couldn't save him. I don't know if that is more embarrassing or less embarrassing. Does that make the situation better or worse? The fact that, like, he didn't die on the spot, but the fact that Rox, like, just hit him so hard that Marie Jois couldn't save him. Now, I think that's pretty diabolical. After his many crimes of that day, Rox's name was launched into infamy, and his deeds stunned the rest of the world. So, he pretty much had the same thing as Luffy, except to a extreme degree, where he, as a rookie, punched so far above his weight class that they just didn't even know what to do with him. And he is doing the buggy face. Is there a single other wanted poster in One Piece with the tongue out? Like, is there actually a single other wanted poster with that kind of face? There is. Big Mom makes the same face. Big Mom also has the tongue out. Adofi also has the tongue out. Wait, is this a real wanted? I don't think this is a real wanted poster. Never mind. I don't think Dofi has his tongue out. I think it's fake. I don't know which one of these is real and which one of these are fan arts. Is there like a wiki page for One Piece wanted posters wiki? One Piece has so much fan art. I've got no idea what's real. Let's see. Yeah, Big Mom is real. Big Mom and Buggy make the same exact face, like with the tongue out. Blackbeard does not. Very importantly, Blackbeard does not. Buggy and Big Mom do. And I guess Caribou does as well. Kind of. Buggy is Big Mom's mom? Oh, Big Mom is Buggy's mom. What did I even just say? Charlotte Buggy? I don't know. Did I say Big Mom is Buggy's mom's mom? It might be a red herring or misdirection. Oda is being very, very coy with what he's revealed about Rox. Everything from the multicolored hair to the tongue to everything he does. I think Oda is being very, very cheeky with him. This is crazy though. I don't even know what to think about this. Rox showing up in the butterfly room might be why Emu cut up Blackbeard's wanted poster back in the Reverie. 100% I think that's the reason. I think that is dead on the money the reason. The only thing that makes me kind of conflicted about this, I think this is absolutely right, but there is one important distinction that needs to be made. How do they know that Blackbeard is his son? That's the only detail here, right? Because they didn't know about Ace. Look at their faces. Yeah, but like... Oh no, I don't know. Is the face just enough? I don't know. Shanks told them? I don't know about that one. Okay, let's see. So, the rookie Rox has just like absolutely demolished any expectations in the pirate world. Let's see. I need to go back to my narrator voice. I was so absurdly caught off guard by Davy Jones, I forgot.
Sometime later, he attacked a ship laden with heavenly tributes en route to Marie Jois. Not only that, he destroyed the Gate of Justice and fled once again.
You know where the Gates of Justice lead? To Impel Down. Destroying the gates is crazy, though. And that's what I mean. The whole thing about him, like, just smashing everything with the sword, it could literally be a case of him just seeing the Justice Gate. He doesn't open the gate. He just destroys the gate. It's foreshadowing that Buggy will be the one to sit on Emu's throne one day instead of Zebek or Blackbeard. I have already said this before, I'll say it again. I think Buggy is the one who will get the title of the King of the Pirates. Luffy is going to actually be the King of the Pirates. I think Buggy is going to get the title. If you want like my completely unfounded gut check.
With this ship and the money as the initial base to work from, Rox dove into the pirating business. His activities were always hostile toward the world government,
but his first target was actually another pirate ship. In the pirating world, there had long existed a famous and merciless game played between crews. The Davy fight consisted of various competitions in which pirates gambled the fate of crewmates and flags. Rox made good use of this game to assemble a very solid lineup for himself.
They've got some amazing... Wait, what? They've got someone they've got someone amazing. You guys are gonna be shocked.
At this point, his motley crew of miscreants flew no flag. And that was when they arrived at Elbaph.
Okay, so it's very, very interesting. It's very interesting how differently Blackbeard and Rox operate. Right? Because Blackbeard just went to Impel Down, freed a bunch of dudes, and said, this is my crew. He has never tried really yoinking anyone. Well, he has, but he just goes and yoinks them. Right? Like, he went and just got pudding. Like, he just yoinked her. Whereas Rox is actually like a, we're gonna do this. I assume he cheats. But he is just doing Davy fights. There is a straw hat. Or what looks to be a straw hat. I saw you mentioning that in the chat as well. He is holding something that looks like a straw hat. Like, what is this? Like, that's a straw hat, right? Like, surely. Very, very sus. Axe Gabon upscale? You think Rox has just, like, entered the story and he is just causing havoc for all the stocks? Like, bro is just, like, absolutely demolishing admirals. He's knocking down Gabon thing. I don't know. I think... But that's Loki. I was going to say, like, if he is such a devout follower of Davy Jones, there is so much going on here. With, like, trickery, right? Because my first gut check was that, like, Loki is going to be the trickster. But now we have him... who is playing Davy fights as a way of getting people for his crew. And I assume he would be doing something diabolical to get people on his crew, right? So what if he's the trickster? And maybe that's why he likes Loki to some... Okay, let's keep reading. Let's keep reading. Before I start yapping. Okay. Aurust, Castle Elbaph. I hurried back as soon as I could, but you're already nearly healed up? What a relief. I know you're a very strong boy, Loki. But you should stay away from the underworld. You're lucky you only fell from a cliff this time. Harald, you're a good king, but goddamn are you a bad dad. Only fell from a cliff. That's crazy. There are plenty of other dangers that could befall you there. I can't believe Dad actually came back. That was just a coincidence, right? He wouldn't come back to see me. I mean, not Rox. Harald is a very good guy, but he is absolutely clueless. And I don't know, like, I want to be like Loki. He did come back because you were hurt. But at the same time, he has literally no idea what you're doing. I like Harald. Harald is such a good character. I like how Oda's written him. He is actually, like, super conflicted. My goat. He really thinks he's some kind of weakling, like he's like his older brother. I mean, I think he's just being a dad. Like, I think, like, his whole thing, like, like, everything we've seen from Harald is he tries to be diplomatic and he tries to, like, make things about not fighting. So I think if he did show up because Loki's hurt, it's not because he thinks Loki is weak. It's just because he's a dad. Now, he's a clueless dad, but it's still his son who got hurt. You know? I think he's just very, very clueless. Harold's an absentee father, not a deadbeat, more like a salary man. You're right on the money. You are right on the money with that one. That's how I would describe him as well. I think he's a very good character in terms of writing. Rox, I've heard all about your exploits. What are you doing here? I've been dying to see you. You should join me, Harald. The world government's not going to hear you out anyway. Didn't you learn that lesson last time? Nonsense. The day I teamed up with a band of infamous rogues like you is the day our allies lose all faith in us. Who the hell is this guy? Who's the guy who looks like a gangster with like the fedora? What? So you'd rather be ground up beneath the world government's heel? I'm looking for a way to avoid that. We ought to be equals on this one. Every one of us. Now you're talking nonsense, Harald. Elbaph is a nation of almighty warriors. Anything you don't like, you can just smash to bits. He's huge. Bro. So that's the king of Elbaph. Gangster Gustino's dad? Something like that. Is this not... There is more. Okay, so he basically just showed up and he's pretty much doing what Blackbeard's doing in the present day. He's like you are not going to be a legitimate nation. Let's just fight them and force them to acknowledge us as a legitimate nation. That makes sense. But Harald is like, no, we have been legitimate with our allies. We are doing everything the proper way. We're doing all our due diligence, all of our checks and balances. Interesting. Very, very interesting. But in the last page, they were very specifically talking about not flying a flag. What's up with that? Okay. That's ancient history. Elbaph is changing. True. Big dubs for Harald for that, by the way. People's nature doesn't ever change. I know that fighting blood is in your veins. I know that fighting blood in your veins is bubbling over. I mean, yes and no. Yes, and you are right, but you're also wrong. Can we at least eat in peace? Whitebeard just wants to chow down. If you people follow this man, only disaster awaits you. Which is true. Very interesting choice of words, though, because Loki has been branded as the person around whom chaos and disaster happens, right? But we know that Rox's crew literally implodes, and Harald is the one saying that to Rox. Very interesting paralleling going on. Whitebeard asking the right questions. I mean, I don't blame him. If I showed up to like a powerful nation, and like we were having a feast, and my captain starts yapping about politics, I would be like, bro, shut up. Let me eat. And then we can get kicked out. Okay? Follow? This fool? Yo, don't make me laugh. We're all individuals. If Rox dies, it doesn't affect the rest of us in the least. Oh, so it's gonna be like the direct opposite of Luffy. Okay, I got it. Mobster Shiki. Future Golden Lion. I still wonder how much about Shiki we're gonna learn. I'll be very curious to learn more about Shiki, especially the whole like Impel Down stuff. That'll be very, very interesting to learn about, considering now, presumably, the Rox crew is going to become important in the story. Future Golden Lion. That's true, but this plan is very appealing to me. We're set to make a killing. Science robber, Miss Buckingham Stussy. You know about Fullaled, that island of exiles? They call it Pirate Island. Yeah, I call it Nassau. It's just Nassau. Just start calling it Nassau. They ship out all the hardened criminals there that countries can't handle their own prisons. Gangster of the West Blue, Don Marlon. There are 5 gangster families. I don't remember this. Let me just look it up. Gangster, because obviously there is Beji, right? Like Beji is obviously one of the big examples. Gangster families in One Piece. Oh yeah, 5 families of the West. I assumed this was just like one of those flavor details that were thrown in, and I didn't think it would be like super important. But I guess Oda is writing more. Yeah, I mean even the wiki page is like 2 paragraphs. It'll be very interesting if this becomes relevant again. Marlon Brando? I've got no idea who that is. I really can't remember if that guy is the guy we see Beji kill. Yeah, like, I remember I thought Beji was really cool, but I wasn't really paying much attention to, like, the big underground shenanigans, because we hadn't really explored any of that in the story thus far. We had seen, like, bits and pieces of, like, Doflamingo's, like, big network of trade, but, like, crime families and stuff like that were never really a huge deal, right? So I was kind of like, interesting, but I'm not going to focus on it that much. Okay, let's see. It was supposed to be a deserted island without food, where the damned simply wait to die. Pirate Edward Newgate, future Whitebeard. This is just like literally everyone flexing. But in recent years, they've survived and built up a settlement there. How do you think that happened? Pirate Guru Wang Ji, future commandeer of the pirate island. It turns out there's a gold lode under that island. When the criminal underworld found out, they rushed to help mine it, and the prisoners made themselves a fortune. The government see it red. Pirate smuggler Ganzui. This is a lot of people to take in. A lot of people to take in and a lot of people to recontextualize around the current story. I just know that Whitebeard is the GOAT and Stussy is pretty cool. Everyone else, we're gonna see what happens. Also, I've seen memes about like about the panels of Hunter x Hunter. I don't know how true they are, right? Because I haven't seen or read Hunter x Hunter. But I've seen the memes where like a Hunter x Hunter panel is just like literally 2 walls of text. Some of these panels are literally starting to look like that. Like these next 2 panels is just text. It's just a lot of lore. Okay. That island's crawling with vicious brigands. Get anywhere near it and they'll rob you blind. That's crazy. So, we made a deal with the government. I says to them, if we get that island back, how much will you give us? If they're willing to pay us, we'll go raid the pirate island and split the treasure between us. But we ain't giving the government the island or the prisoners. I'm gonna rule over Fullerlet. And all these idiots who live there help me build a pirate's paradise. Can't you just see the dumbfounded looks on the government's and navy's faces? Whoa. I mean, I'm not saying this because you like Davy Jones rocks, but a lot of what you're saying does make a lot of sense. Like, the world government created this basically like off-nation prison where everyone goes to die. Suddenly, they realize that in this nation, there's a lot of resources. And now they want it as not a prison, but as a resource colony. But these guys said, wait, hold up, now, wait a minute. You sent us to die here? Now, this is ours now. We survived. This is ours now. And now they're just kind of thinking, what if we just like start flexing on the world government? Have you thought about that? Now we're gonna do it through diabolical means. It's just Australia? Actually, it is. Isn't it? Because, wait, I don't know a lot about Australian history. We're never taught about Australia basically at all, I know. But isn't Australia originally like just like prisoners who were sent there? Isn't that literally what Australia was? I might be wrong. Yep, it is what it is. Yeah, it is. Convicts in Australia. This is literally what happened. Okay. Okay. So this is based on something very similar. Got it. Fascinating. Fascinating. Okay, Kylan definitely didn't feel succinct with text. I am all here for it. I want these lore drops. I really, really want these lore drops. And I mean, so far, like, yeah, Rox is doing a lot of diabolical things. A lot of very diabolical things, but I mean, you can't really blame him for his Nassau plan, can you? They were sent to die. He just wants to step in and now he is saying like he's going to take advantage of the idiots and rule over the island, which is like big red flags. But other than that, kind of W. Okay. Okay, Oda is breaking the 4th wall. Very funny. Very funny. This is just the prologue to my life. Funny. With that island as my base, I'll wipe out the Navy and bring the Holy Land to its knees. And in the end, I'll be the king of the world. Okay, you had me in the first half. Now I'm out. This king of the world business, I'm out. You're making an enemy out of the entire world? It's too much to handle. Go ahead and doubt me. Sooner or later, someone's going to do it. There's no authority in the world that lasts forever. Let's go, Harald. If we team up, we are unstoppable. I do find it very interesting that he actually just offered him to join. I find that very, very interesting that he actually went to him. Dofi said the same thing. Power has a very small shelf life. I mean, Dofi also had the speech in whatchamacallit, in Marineford, right? About like how how power and authority is just like a thing that changes, ebbs and flows, right? It is like only the victors write history, yada yada. Dofi had a very similar sentiment. And it's also very similar to how Roger recruited Rayleigh. Yeah, because Roger pulled up, and he also said insane stuff. But to think that this is someone who is, like, supposed to be from the Blackbeard lineage, he just pulls up and basically says, "Wanna join me? I'm going on an adventure. I'm gonna beat the whole world." No? Okay. I'm doing it anyway. I find that very interesting. Because we haven't really seen anything to that degree with Blackbeard. He has talked to people and said, like, "You want to join my crew and stuff." He has done that. But nothing to this extent, I feel like. Blackbeard did the same with his crew. Not necessarily. Blackbeard showed up in Impel Down, did a battle royale, and said the victors can go with him. I wouldn't say that's exactly asking them. With Kuzan? Yeah, he did kind of do that with Aokiji Kuzan. That's true. That is true. Everyone else, he has kind of like strong-armed into joining them.
Okay. Save your breath. I'm a king. You think I care? Let's go and take over the world.
The world?
And the next thing Loki knew, his outlook on life had been saved. 4 years later, after Harald ignored repeated invitations, Rox finally carried out his plan. The formidable lineup that joined him caused the world to quake in terror.
Let's get going, boys.
What he should have added is it's time to hoist the black. He should have had that. Like, raise the black, like the typical pirate stuff. One of the interesting things about pirates that I never knew is that you weren't actually flying your flag when you were sailing around. You only raised your flag when you wanted a ship to surrender. Apparently, you would pull up to a ship, and then, like, if the ship was getting like a little bit anxious, you would raise the black and have them surrender. So you wouldn't actually be flying the flag all the time. I still find Rox's flag extremely suspect. Like, extremely suspect. The Whirly Boys? The Whirly Boys? Why do they have the Whirly Boys? And all this talk of Nika and freedom, I know, like, I just got a W with Davy D Jones, right? Like, if we want to look at the stocks, like, I'm getting greedy. I know that. I'm getting very, very greedy. Davy Jones is literally worth 150. He is worth more than Luffy. Oh, no, he's not. Davy Jones is $150. It's a crazy amount of money that he's worth right now. And the Rock stock, it's still going to the moon. Which is crazy. Absolutely crazy. So I know I'm getting greedy, right? But I want to bring up another crazy prediction that I made. Give me a minute, I'll bring up another crazy prediction. Loki has Nika fruit. Okay. Let me explain. What do you think of the idea that we saw Luffy awaken his devil fruit form, and he entered year 5, and it made no sense? And many characters before have also said that that's not how rubber is supposed to work, and, like, Luffy is absurd, right? And then renaming the devil fruit to actually be a mythical zone solved that problem, because it wasn't a Gundam fruit. It was something else entirely. And if you watch the YouTuber named Koroto's Mystery Shack, you will know very well that I always thought the change was unnecessary. I thought it devalues Luffy's achievements, even though, yes, I know it changes nothing. It is purely a vibe-based thing for me. And so I thought, what if this entire thing has indeed been a misunderstanding, and the reason why Loki has a special bounty is because he was suspected of having the Gundam fruit, while in reality, he has the actual legendary Nika fruit. And Luffy is the one who still has just the Gundam fruit. And he is the one who truly made it special, to truly prove that there is no such thing as the Nika fruit. Luffy, with his weird-ass Gundam fruit that is useless, was the Liberator Nika. Just like Kuma was the Liberator Nika. That is my entire thesis statement. The only backup I have to this is that I think it would infinitely strengthen the entire Nika vibe. Because I find it incredibly weird that a lot of One Piece fans are like, there is only... This is talking about, like, story implications. I still think, I very much think, there is something to this theory. Like, the whole who has the Nika fruit, the whole Liberator on Elbaph, the religion on Elbaph, and all of that. I find it extremely suspect. There was a line that Loki named himself the Sun God. What if he was inspired by what he saw about Zebek, which also explains the Jolly Roger Whirly. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. everything around, and keep in mind, this is happening in rapid succession. These are probably story beats that Oda had already sketched in. From Wano all the way to Elbaph, like, I would assume this is one major story beat that Oda was planning out. Because we see a lot of these direct connections, right? Between Roger's flashback and now Rocks and God Valley and all that. Also, I just realized the Loki flashback became the Rocks flashback, which is literally what happened in Wano too. Like, I'm sorry, Odin, pretty cool. I don't care about Odin compared to Roger. Like, I'm gonna be real with you. It's the Roger flashback. It's not the Odin flashback. Odin, I sleep. Roger is when I wake. But the whole Loki thing, and the whole mythical zone, and the whole rubber is not supposed to work like that, and all of that, it just doesn't line up in my brain. Special bounty, legendary devil fruit, passed down in Elbaph, and all of this, sus. Oda was writing SBS answers about Davy Jones during the start of Aqua Laguna. What was it? Has Oda drawn Davy Jones? Oh wait, this is someone who is Davy Jones pilled. This is supposed to be Davy Jones? Nah, bro, this is not Davy Jones. This is a scam. This is not Davy Jones. In general, there was a lying, no-good pirate named Davy Jones, a greedy deck chief who was famous for putting all the crew's valuables in his own locker. He was so wicked, even for a pirate, that one day, the devil himself cursed Davy to live at the bottom of the sea forever, swabbing the deck of a sunken ship and placing all the sunken treasure into his locker, where he would never be seen again. So when pirates say, put him in Davy Jones's locker, it means sink him to the bottom of the sea. Yeah, this is in Long Ring Longland, in case anyone's wondering. Directly in the middle of Long Ring Longland, that is an island that just so happens to be shaped like a crown. And Rocks wants to be the king of the world, right? So he wants a giant crown. What would you put in the middle of the thing? Of course, it's a crown. It's right there. Like, it's all right there. It's all right there. There, you can even buy a poster of this. I still haven't put up mine. I got a test print of this myself. Hold on. If you want to support the Davy, which by the way, you should have been buying this like months ago. Hold on. Had you bought this, you could be flexing on all of your friends. If you go to the official Koroto's Mystery Shack store, you could have bought a I Want to Believe Long Ring Longland poster right there. It's right there. You could have bought it. You could have been flexing on all of your friends. You should have done it. It was always there in plain sight. In plain sight. In plain sight. Oda's putting some truths and some lies into the obvious lie in his appearance. He's gonna look more badass. If we ever get a proper look at Davy Jones, and Davy Jones is not meant to be a representation of something bigger, I can also see Davy Jones being Joy Boy, by the way. Just FYI. Because I do think there's a possibility of it all being linked to the origin of the devil fruits. I'm pretty sure I talked about this in Dressrosa Part 2. I faintly remember talking about this in the Dressrosa video. I do think there's a decent chance Joy Boy and Davy Jones are all intertwined in the creation of the devil fruits. And the whole thing on the mural, right? Where they captured the thing and all of that. I think all of this stuff is intertwined. I just gotta actually think about this now that it's no longer a conspiracy I have, and it has actually been proven in the story. Davy is Emu before he took over Nefertari's body? Nah, I don't think Emu could be Davy Jones. Caribou has a brother named Koribu, and I think their father is Wang Ji. Yeah, this would make a lot of sense. This would be another generation of people. People on Blackbeard's crew that were directly linked to Rocks, right? That's what you're getting at. Because he was talking about getting to Blackbeard. So it would be the same thing as we saw with Rocks, right? It's the same exact vibe. Yeah, I like this. I like this. Why am I getting... Hold on. Yeah, I mean, I think there's... Let me just copy this into... I think there's a very, very, very good chance. What the hell is this? Ignore. I think there's a decent chance, which would make the whole connection very strong again. I like this. Davy Jones being Joy Boy is an extremely fun theory. I very much like the theory, but I really want there to be some kind of deal that is bargained, right? Because I'm thinking about The thing that could make it interesting from the perspective of like he was struck down for being an evil pirate is obviously like the whole, if there is something to do with devil fruits, right, and then Emu struck down Davy Jones, it all makes sense, right? But with the whole origin of the fruits, I really want there to be some kind of deal that is being made. Because usually with these like super powerful mythos figures, there is a bargain that is struck and there is a power that is gained at the expense of something else. And that's what the devil fruit is. Upon eating a devil fruit, you bargain with Davy Jones. The moment you eat a devil fruit, you are making a deal with Davy Jones. You give up your ability to swim for tremendous power. You are making a deal with Davy at that exact moment. Right? So I think the origin of both the devil fruits and whatever this mythos is needs to be something akin to that. It needs to be something messed up, something weird. But I don't know what. Because remember, like on the other hand, if I'm just going all out on conspiracies, we still have the Mihawk and church connection. Because Kuma carries a Bible. Bible is linked to Nika. There's a Nika church with a big cross. Mihawk literally has a sword that looks like a cross. And he's the only character in One Piece with a literal cross necklace. Huh? I want to apologize. I always laughed at you for speaking of Davy Jones. Now I realize you're a genius. Do you forgive me, wise one? I always forgive the blind. The blind who do not see the vision. You just didn't see the vision. And that's fine. That's fine. Sometimes you get lost in the sauce. Sometimes you don't see the vision. But at the end of the day, there will only be one truth. What if Davy Jones is from the first world? The first world was destroyed in the first Nika. Yeah, there's a lot of theorizing to be done about that. And I think I need to think about this. I think I need to get in the shower and think about this in the shower. Because that's where you get an intellect buff, as we all know. I do think, like, if we go all the way back to what I said before, the way Davy Jones is depicted in the anime, this is one of those times where I genuinely think this is Oda giving them details about how to make him look like. I don't see this is just them coming up with a cool looking design. Like, again, Davy Jones's ship, Pirates of the Caribbean. The only thing that is very weird, you talked about this earlier. I saw the message. I didn't read it. How the hell did the Flying Dutchman, how the hell did it get to Fishman Island? Why would it be there? There was a GIF right here, right? It's directly below Marie Jois. That's a good idea. Hold up, wait a minute. Hold up, wait a minute. You might be cooking with that. I'm gonna think about this. Because if you go back to my Fishman Island videos, I was mauling the hell out about what was his name? The clown. What was the clown on the ship? This freaking guy. This is one of my least favorite characters in all of One Piece. I'm not even joking. Literally the biggest cringe boy that has ever been cringed. There has never been a cringier man in existence. Even Sanji. I hate this. I hated this. I despised this. And he was on the Flying Dutchman? What a joke. So now we got the boss returning home, which is going to be Davy D. Jones. What is the egg on Roger's ship? Let's not get ahead of ourselves, okay? Let's not get ahead of ourselves. We still got to think about the Nika Church. We still got a lot of things to think about. What if Davy Jones is Vander Decken first? It could be something along those lines, yeah. I think this is a big day for Koroto, though. Like, everything's coming up Koroto, bro. Imagine in the big year 2025, just a couple years after I've been caught up, I come in here and I'm like, nah, buy Davy Jones stocks. I know I just got here. I know I'm a junior. I know all of you have been around for like 15 years. I know no one should be listening to me. I'm a clown. But goddammit, buy Davy Jones stocks. I told y'all. Absolute cinema. When I read Davy Jones, I jumped out of the couch and walked into circles for 2 minutes. You know how I always joke about how, like, my brain is unironically an LLM just predicting the most likely next word, right? I've joked about this before. If we are talking about the likelihood of the next words in a One Piece sentence being Davy Jones, the probability of that is basically 0. So when I was reading it, I was like, wait, hold on, wait just a minute. Is the biggest day we've had. The biggest day we've had. Is it better than the mural? I mean, for me personally, of course. Of course. The fact that one of the biggest, most legendary characters in the world of One Piece literally pops in Loki's flashback and name drops Davy Jones? I do think the previous chapter was better in terms of beat-to-beat stories, right? But in terms of like just pure my enjoyment, hell yeah, this is me. This is just me. I think if there is a worship of Davy Jones as the devil of the sea, can it become a devil fruit? I think it already has. That's one of the lines of thinking that I'm thinking about the whole man marked by flame. I think the whirlpools, the things that suck everything to the bottom of the ocean, I think that is in some way, either that is straight up Davy Jones, it is something to do with Davy Jones, or it is some kind of fruit that turns you into Davy Jones. And honestly, if you wanted to go like full tinfoil, what if the legendary fruit that has been passed down on Elbaph is the Davy Jones fruit? It's probably not. But man, what if? Man, what if? I think Blackbeard is building the Davy Jones fruit. You have to hoard specific fruits. That could be cool. That could be cool. I gotta just think about this. I gotta think about this. I very, very much gotta think about this. So I guess we'll leave it there for today. There is a break next week, which means I'm gonna have a lot of time to stew on every single one of you who didn't believe me, every single one, and to think about what was gonna happen next with Davy Jones. Because I do think this Davy Jones storyline, I don't think we're gonna get a lot of it. I think this is gonna be a situation where we're gonna be kept in limbo for a little bit regarding this stuff. Then again, we've already been kept in limbo since Long Ring Longland. So I don't know. All that being said, I will leave it there for today. Thanks a lot for joining me for one of the most insane streams we've had thus far. I think this warrants some updating. I think we're gonna be adding a few more lines to this map. So this side of the map right here, right? Just putting it out there. So we're gonna be updating this a little bit, and then we'll see what happens next. All right. See you guys in either in a couple days for probably some kind of other stream, or in a couple weeks for the next One Piece chapter. And there might also be big news regarding whatchamacallit, One Piece, because One Piece Day is coming up, right? That's it. Have a good one. Bye-bye.